All right, this is the video for the Geometry Unit 6 study guide. This will be just basically an opportunity for me to tell you what you need to know for the test and go over some examples of some of the problems that you'll need to know. So first things first, there's some terms and theorems that you need to know. You're going to need to spend some time studying these. I've listed the vocabulary that you need to know. You can find these in the unit. You can find them in the geometry proof manual that I shared with you on the classroom page, and I will send that out again tomorrow with this video. You need to know these theorems and what they say. Like, I'm not asking you to know the exact word for word definition, but you do need to understand the kind of concept behind them. And then there is one thing from lesson 6 that you need to know, and it is that a polygon can be divided up into equal triangles that is equal to the number of sides that it has. Okay, so you can divide it up into triangles that are equal to the number of sides that it has. All right, so that's pretty much a large portion of the unit test, is knowing those terms, knowing those theorems. And then there's some problems you need to know to find the area and the perimeter of different shapes. So I'm going to go over an example of each one of these, starting with regular polygon. When we talk about a regular polygon, we're talking about a polygon has a certain number of sides. They're all the same length, and then they're going to give you this value called the apothem, or the A value, right here. One thing you need to know is that this being a hexagon, it has an N value of 6 because it has 6 sides. And then the 5 is what we call the S value. Now, they want you to find the perimeter and the area. So we first have to find the perimeter. The formula for perimeter of regular polygons is P equals N times S. And we know what that is. We know that N is 6. We know that S is 5. So we know, and we'll call these centimeters, is 30 centimeters is the perimeter of this polygon. And the formula for area is 1/2 A times the perimeter. Again, this is coming from this value apothem, which is that line you see. It's coming from the center straight down. We're going to plug in what we know. We know the apothem is 4. We know the perimeter is 30. 1/2 times 4, that's going to make 2. 2 times 30 is 60 centimeters squared. So when you're doing these, you just need to start by identifying the different values. You need to know what the N, the S, and the A is, and then you need to have these formulas with you when you sit down for the test. Okay? So make sure you write these formulas down for the perimeter and area of regular polygons. When we talk about doing the perimeter of a kite, which is what you have here, you just need to add up the outside distances. We see we have 12, we have 20. This is also 20. This is also 12. We know that because that's one of the properties of kites, that these are the same and these are the same. So we're just going to do 20 plus 20 plus 12 plus 12, and we get, see, 40, 24, so we get 64, and we'll call these inches for the perimeter of a kite. So we've done this in a previous lesson, but I just want to make sure you see another example. The area is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. So in our case, diagonal 1, I'll do that in a different color here, is this diagonal that goes from here to here. That's 8 and 18 together, which makes 26. And then we have these together, which makes 16. 26 times 16. Go ahead and jump over to our calculator here. 26 times 16 is 416 divided by 2. 416 divided by 2 is 208. 208 inches squared is the area of our kite. So that covers area and perimeter of kites and regular polygons. Then they deal with composite figures. Composite figures are shapes made of other shapes. So we're going to call this area 1. We're going to call this area 2. We're going to call this area 3. So area 1 is a square. So we need to find the area of that. We already know the distance is 8. So the area is s squared, or 8 squared, which is 64. That's area 1. Area 2 is a area 2 is a rectangle. Rectangles, we're going to multiply the length and the width. Now, we don't know right off the bat. We know that L is 23, length times width. We know that L is 23. We don't know what the width is, except we know this is 15. We know this is 15. We know this is 8, which leaves 7 for this. So that's our width, 7. Jump over. Do 23 times 7. Gives me 161. So that's our second area, area 2, 161. And this is the process you need to take for your composite area problems. You need to calculate the values of each of the areas. So that's area 2, done with that one, done with that one. Area 3 is a triangle. Triangles have a area formula of 1/2 base times height. My height here is going to be 8, just like it was over here. 1/2. We don't know what the base is yet. We know the height is 8. We do know that this is 23 and this is 8, which leaves 15 for this other part. So this is going to be 15, leaving me with 1/2 15 times 8. If I do that, 1/2 times 15 times 8, I get 60. That's area 3. All I have to do to find the total area is to do area 1 plus area 2 plus area 3, and that gives me the area total. Area 1 is 64. Area 2 is 161. Area 3 is 60. Add those up, 64 plus 161 plus 60. And we get 285. And that would be the area, of the entire figure. So what I'm telling you is when you have a composite figure, break it up into smaller parts, find the area of each one, and then add them together to find the total area. And that is pretty much all you need for this unit. But definitely make sure you focus on studying this vocabulary. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or if you want to set up a time to test.